Mack maybe goes 6,000 snaps to start his career without the example of the first guy he saw saying, hey, here's how I do it. And he goes, well, I want to do it like he does it. And it's like in basketball. I say, if you like Tristan Thompson, but you wanted Anderson Varejao traded, the reason you like Tristan Thompson now is because he followed the example of Anderson Varejao to hustle and get the rebounds and all that stuff. And it's the same thing there. And I love Joe Thomas. You can't get me going enough on Joe Thomas. But anyways, last thing here. Monday Night Football, last team in the North that we didn't talk about. Steelers haven't played. Looks like maybe a good game here tonight. I'm not always the biggest Monday Night Football fan, but Texans and Steelers both 500 here. You looking for a good game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is what it is. I think, both teams are 3-3 for a reason. And I think both of these teams are mediocre, but it's a chance to see, one of the best matchups. J.J. Watt's always fun to watch. Just, win or lose, he's always going to make one play or two plays that just make you go, wow, for the Texans. And obviously Ben Roethlisberger, we all know. Most defensive linemen get to a quarterback and they know they're going to be able to get them down. But, you always see it in the first quarter of the game where defensive linemen might get to Roethlisberger and they don't get him down. They go, damn, this guy's strong. And it's just one of those great individual matchups to see those two, J.J. Watt rushing Ben Roethlisberger. But I'll tell you, you go back to the beginning of the 2012 season now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 19-19. They're the definition of mediocrity right now. And, they're at home, so you maybe expect them to get a win here because it's against a Texans team. But the Steelers aren't the Steelers of old, and I think people have to start to come to grips with that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, just looking at the teams, too, they're very similar. I mean, just the breakdown offensively, Bell and Foster having practically identical seasons with the exception of Foster finding the end zone a lot more than Bell. But both, and that's going to be a good matchup, too. Two good running backs featured here tonight. That's the other one besides your matchup that I'm looking at. But be interesting to see, and I don't ever mind watching the Steelers lose on Monday night. So I'm rooting for the Texans, baby. Go get them. Man, John.
Yeah, and I think, by the way, I think Bell's second in the league in running, and I think Foster's third.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
They're both about 400 yards behind
Murray. Exactly, and they're having great seasons, but you're right, man. They're getting put in the dirt next to DeMarco Murray. Next time you and I talk, Browns and Raiders will be in the books. What does your gut tell you? Do you think the Browns shake off what happened in Jacksonville and take care of the Raiders?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think, as I said, now it's a teaching moment. Now I think they'll understand that you have to show up and you have to play everybody in the NFL. And, the one thing I'm concerned about, and if you rewind to our talk last week, it was the same thing I was concerned about last week, and that's the fact that Alex Mack's not there. Yep. And it came to fruition. And that running game took a big step backwards, and I think that's a major reason for it. So hopefully they get another week. We'll get guys more situated, and they can improve that aspect. But this is a test. This is a true test, and it's a home game, and they need to bounce back in a big way.
You're an X's and O's guy, and I'm going to ask you this real quick since you brought up Mack one more time. Do you think it would settle the Browns' offensive line this week? Because I'm wondering myself if they were able to slide Nick McDonald back in at center, because he has played center in the NFL. He played for the Patriots, and he's been on injured reserve. He's back and healthy now. Do you think putting a natural center back at center and sliding Greco back into his guard position would be a more cohesive offensive line than leaving McQuiston and Greco where they are right now?
No, I don't think so, because that's what you're hoping for is cohesion helps a little bit more, and I think you have to give him one more chance.
Okay.
That's the way you've been going, and obviously McQuiston's a veteran guy. He'll be, he should be fine at guard moving forward. So I think this is the plan. This is the guy. They think these guys have the talent to do it. It's just about, working together as a group. And how important that is as an offensive line. And that was their plan, and they certainly can't pull the plug now.
No, I just wonder.
2 more weeks of struggling, maybe you broach that subject, but it's too early for that right now.
All right, we'll see what happens next week. You and I will talk about it all. Another week in the books. John, thank you so much for being with us. Enjoy your week and enjoy some Monday Night Football. We'll catch up next Monday.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Thank you. My man, John McMullen. Always a great time, and you guys can tweet with him anytime, any questions, at JF McMullen on Twitter. If you need to figure it out, you can see it on our Twitter account and link off of it there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan will be here. We'll get his take on the Browns. We'll talk Buckeyes and their big victory over Rutgers. We'll talk Florida State, Notre Dame. Controversial ending to that one there. Look around the NFL and so much more. Don't go anywhere. Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan coming up next here on the Sports Fix, talking Browns and Buckeyes, and who knows? It doesn't matter. It's always a good time when Dan Wismar joins us next.
We here at the Sports Fix are very in-depth when we interview the sports stars.
Oh, I saw the whole thing, dude. First you were all like, whoa, and then we were like, whoa, and then you were like, whoa. What are you talking about? You caught serious thrill issues, dude. Oh, awesome.
Maybe not, but you should still listen.
Hey, Cleveland, this is Ed Doherty, voice of St. Ignatius Wildcat Football, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. Real time spent making real decisions, creating real victory.
I'm the greatest man in the world!
And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs.
The trophy's 12 feet high, and it is glorious!
Football, baseball, hoops, you name it, they have it. Plus, they have awesome draft kits and party supplies to make all your preseason activities the envy of everyone. If your league needs a ring, belt, or trophy, or you want to upgrade what you already have, there's literally only one place to go. If you're going to be a fantasy jock, do it right.
It's mine, the most magnificent belt ever created, and it's mine.
With America's fantasy sports superstore, fantasyjocks.com.
What's your fantasy?
The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio app, subscribe to the show, and get your fix.
I'm Pro Football Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. There's just one place where students are students first and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports help young people become confident leaders and role models and use the skills developed today to do even bigger things in life tomorrow. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
In baseball, miracles can happen when a team works together.
2 out, bottom of the 9th, down to their last strike.
The same is true in the fight against cancer. That's why MLB has teamed up with Stand Up to Cancer. Because we believe that when we all stand up together,
41,000 on their feet,
we can make cancer history.
Now everybody's standing. What a buzz in this building.
This is beyond a dream. Stand up with MLB at standuptocancer.org.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Fantasy Jocks. Visit fantasyjocks.com, your fantasy sports superstore. Championship belts, rings, trophies, and more.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you. Going to be joined in a moment by Dan Wismar from the Cleveland Fan. But, man, I'll tell you, I love dodging the bullets between the show. I get messages on Facebook and Twitter, and I get emails. I get chat room messages. I get it all during the break. Listen, I'm curious. For those of you who are in the camp that the Browns are just the most god-awful thing football ever created, and you're in your revelry today, I don't care. That's great. I'm curious at what point in the last 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 56 seconds did I ever not say that the Browns stunk yesterday? Like, ain't nobody sugarcoating nothing here, man. The venom that I love it because I was telling some people last night. I was with a bunch of guys, and I was with a bunch of Browns fans, but I was with a really group of smart guys that are smart football guys. They're not just a bunch of honks, man. And it was funny because it was the normal, wow, what the hell did we just watch and all of that, you know? And I'm just sitting there quiet. And they're like, man, what's up, Jerry? And I'm like, look, not only am I dealing with the what just happened football thing just as the natural football fan guy, but I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, there's literally people who despise the Cleveland Browns and any success that they have right now. They're plotting, they're crafting, they're forging the barbs that they're going to send at me. Because for the last 3 weeks, they've been all like, man, I wish these guys would hurry up and look bad so I could go back to saying what I was saying. Get out of here with that garbage. Ain't nobody listening to you. And if you don't want to listen to me, do what you got to do, brother, because we're going to do it our way each and every day right here on the Sports Fix. But, you know, don't give me the noise, man. Like I said, I'm the only one, and I'll just end it with this. Unlike anybody else out there who namelessly, facelessly can say what they want, I'm the only one who has to stand here. I don't get the luxury of jumping in a chat room and telling you hindsight being 2020. I don't get the luxury of sending you an email and changing what I said yesterday to make it match what I saw today. And I hold myself accountable every day to every word that I say right here on the air. So you're damn right I get a little bit feisty because I call it from both sides and right down the middle, brother. And every word that I say can be pulled up and re-listened to. So until you're willing to stand behind that same cloak of transparency that I do, you're not going to win the fight with me, brother. You're not going to win the fight with me. Welcome back into the Sports Fix. J-Rock back with you. Going to the phone lines. Dan, I'm just saying, there's transparency on my end because I can't run and I don't want to run. God, do I hate those people that block you on Twitter and Facebook if you tell them that they're wrong and they ignore you and they'll, you know, hey, look, man, not only can I not block you, but every copy of every show is available on about 50 different websites. Anytime you wanted to, you could go, hey, J-Rock, here's exactly what you said on, you know, Thursday, June 22nd, 2012. Bam, there it is. I don't even know what I said that day, so no reason to go look it up, but you get my point. But it's a trip, because then some people, they have the luxury, literally, of changing what they said yesterday to whatever happened today. And I'm like, that is not what you said. But, you know, the difference is that you have the cloak of transparency is cloaked, I should say, and I leave it wide open. But I get a trip out of that, man. Anyways, rolling on with the show. That's what I love about this. I love the flood of emails and Facebooks and Twitters and all of that, baby, because that's what makes this great. There is no one point of view. There is no one opinion. I'm not right. You're not wrong. I mean, well, maybe in certain cases I may be more right or I may be more wrong. My point is it ain't my way or the highway, but it is my show, and you're going to respect the rules. Welcome back to the show. It's not even my show. See, I can't even say that. I can't be like these other asses, man, because it's our show. It's your show. It's The Sports Fix. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. And on the phone lines, you can't do it because Dan Wismar is. He's here with me now, my man from the Cleveland Fan. Dan, baby, how you doing?
J-Rock, how you doing this morning?
I'm all right, man. Hey, look, man. I mean, it is what I didn't lose that game yesterday, so I'm okay.
That's right. You know, the thing that also kills me is the anonymous Twitter guys.
Yeah,
the guys who want to slam the Browns and who don't have the guts to even do it in their own name. But yeah, you're right. And for the record, J-Rock, you know, I was on your show Wednesday, and I predicted a Browns victory. So, hey, my bad, right?
No, I mean,
I also sat down with my wife before the kickoff, and like you, I had a bad feeling about it.
Bad feeling.
I said to my wife before the kickoff, I think we're going down today. We're not winning this game today, just because there aren't many 0-7 teams in the NFL.
For a reason.
And the Jaguars had to be looking at this as a must-win, and they obviously were cranked up. And they had a plan, and I think we're going to see that same plan going forward. And